Bonsuelo athletes, end of chapter 2. Time flies by when you're having fun. Okay, this should be relatively short compared to a lot of the things we've done in this chapter. What we're doing today is graphing linear inequalities. That's an inequality in two variables, and you're looking at it saying, that does not look like an inequality to me. It looks like an equation, and you're right, it is an equation. But you know what? We're going to start off with that just to get the general idea of what it is we're trying to do with a graph. And what are you trying to do? You're trying to find every point that makes a statement true. In this case, every XY pair that makes a statement true. So what you're looking at here, is this a graph? No, this is not a graph. This is an XY axis system, Cartesian coordinate system, rectangular coordinate system, rectangular Cartesian coordinate system. Call it what you want, but it's not a graph. The graph is the thing you put on this grid. Okay, so you should know how to graph this thing. So we're going to do this by not by XY table. Shoot me. Nope, we're going to do this by x-intercept. So the x-intercept is going to be 3, 0, and the y-intercept is going to be 0, -4. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to plot a point at 3, 0, 0, -4, draw the line. Sorry, like I can't even draw a line. Get rid of that garbage. Okay. And that's a graph. Okay, the graph is the thing that you put on the Cartesian coordinate system. The graph is where there's a black ink mark that I just wrote with. The rest of it is not a graph. The rest of it is where the points are that don't make the statement true. So if we take this point, I don't know. Anyway, let's pick a simple one. Let's pick 3, 0, and I plug it into the original statement. It makes the statement true. But let's say I pick this point over here, -4, 2. Can I plug that into the equation? Sure, I can plug it in, but it doesn't make it true. So that point is not part of the graph. Okay, so everything that's makes the statement true, we're going to put pen there. Okay. And everything that doesn't make it true, we're not going to put pen there. So all this other area, other than where I've drawn this line, those points do not make the statement true. Okay, fine. Make sure you understand that, though. So all we're doing is we're finding all the values that make the statement true. Okay, so let's take this one. First of all, what most people will do with this is they'll solve it for y. Don't. If you haven't figured this out yet, don't change the form when you don't need to. So how are we going to graph it? Well, graph it as if it was equal. So what would we do? The x-intercept is 3, 0, and the y-intercept is 0, -4. Whoa, that's really earth-shattering. It's the exact same as up here, okay? So we're going to put 3, 0, 0, -4. Now, and make sure you understand my question. Do the points on this line make the original statement true? Yeah, they do. Okay? Because remember, on this first one, 4x - 3y, if you plug in the x and y points on this line, it makes it equal to 12. Well, how about this? Is there an equal sign there? Yes, there is an equal sign. Now, I know there's more than an equal sign, but there is an equal sign. It's that thing right there, okay? So the points, every point on the first one also makes the second one true. Doesn't mean that's the answer, though. But those points are part of the answer. Okay? So far, so good. Okay, so do all of those points make the given statement true? Yes, they do. Then why is that not the answer? Well, because what do you do when you graph or when you solve an equation or an inequality or anything like that? Not an expression, but an equation or an inequality. You're finding all the points that make this, that can be substituted for the variables that will make the statement true. All these points make that statement true, but are these all the points that make the statement true? No, there are other ones. That's why this is not the answer. Now, let me caution you against something. A lot of people look at the inequality and go, oh, it's a greater than symbol. That means the points above the line make it true. Do not do it that way. Okay? There is a way to do it that way, but I'm not going to go through it because I think it's a bad way to do it. This is what we're going to do. We're just going to test a point. We're going to test a point on one side of the line, then we'll test a point on the other side of the line, and we'll see which makes it true. Because one of the sides is going to make it true. And whatever side that is, the other side is not going to make it true. So I'll just pick, and I like to pick points on the axes just because they're easy. So let's go for 0, 0. Okay, that would be the point on this side. It's the point right there, okay? And let's see if plugging in 0 will make the statement true. So we have 4 times 0 minus 3 times 0. Is that greater than or equal to 12? Well, is 0 minus 0 greater than or equal to 12? No, it's not. So the side of the graph that contains point 0, 0 does not make that statement true. So let's pick a point on the bottom here. I don't know, I usually go for one on the y-axis, but x-axis would be fine too. I'm going to go for 0, -5. Okay, but you can really pick any one. Okay, let's plug it in and see if it makes it true. So we have 4 times 0 minus 3 times -5. Is that greater than or equal to 12? Well, if we simplify what's on the left here, we get 15. Is that greater than or equal to 12? Well, yes, it is. So all the points down here on the bottom also make it true. So how do we show that? Well, somehow, shade in or whatever. Now, those are all the points. That's the graph. Why? Because those are all the points that make the statement true. Okay? Now, just a couple things. Again, I suggest you not do this by looking at the inequality and go, oh, greater than means above it and less than. No, it really doesn't work that way. Next, you could always say to yourself, well, self, if I check this 1.00 and it doesn't make it true, what about, then the other side must make it true? Well, that'd be correct, providing you know for an absolute fact you didn't make a mistake graphing the line. But if you made a mistake graphing the line, maybe a point on either side of the line will, maybe a point, both points work or both points don't work. Why? Because you made a mistake. Okay, now, if you don't make any mistakes, yes, only one side will make it true and the other side won't make it true. But I suggest you pick a point on one side and a point on the other side. And if you find that both of them work or both of them don't work, it means you messed up somewhere. Okay, and it doesn't really take that long to figure out one extra point. So that's just a recommendation. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, it should look very similar. But notice here, so we've got, I'm not going to show it again, the x-intercept is 3, the y-intercept is -4. Okay, but notice there's no equals here. So the points on the line do not make it true. But I have to draw the line because I have to divide this thing up into one half and the other half. So what am I going to do? I'm going to leave it blank. I'm going to draw the line, but leave it blank. Well, how do I draw the line but leave it blank? Just draw like a little bit of the line. And we'll assume that what I'm going to show you makes it blank. So we're just going to kind of dash it or lightly dot it in. Okay? So right now, what have I shown that makes this statement true? Nothing. This thing's still blank. Okay? This is still blank. So let's pick a point on one side. Let's pick 0, 0. Let's pick a point on the other side. We'll go for 0, -5 again. Let's assume you know how to plug in points. So what do we get? 0 minus 0, is that less than 12? Yes, it is. So this side should not make it true. So is 0 plus 15 less than 12? No, it's not. And I'm plugging them in the same way I plugged them in up here in number 2. So I'm not doing anything different as far as that goes. So what do? I show the points on the top. Those are all the points that make the statement true. Not the points on the line, not the points down below. Okay? Now let's take a look at one more example real quick. Okay, it's a little different form, obviously. So what's this? The slope is -1, and the y-intercept, you're not graphing it any differently, is 0, 2. Okay, so we're going to go to 0, 2. From there, we're going to go down 1 and over 1. And again, this is not equals, so the points on this line do not make the statement true. So we'll just very lightly dash it in. Okay, so right now, again, we have a blank screen, a blank graph. There's nothing on this right now. So let's pick a point on the top, and I'll pick 0, 0. Let's pick a point on the bottom. I'll pick 0, -3. Just one on one side, one on the other side. Okay, let's go for 0, 0 first. Let's plug it in. Is 0 greater than -0 plus 2? No, 0 is not bigger than 2. So that does not work. Okay. Shoot me. I did something weird here. What is it? Okay. Oh, that's where it is. Let me show you. Oh, gosh, I didn't do this intentionally, but let me show you something. So now you would assume, okay, shade the bottom. Okay, but notice this is just so lucky. This is a great day. So let's say you had picked the point on the bottom. So you'd plug in -3 is greater than 0, -0 plus 2. And that doesn't work either. So what do I know? I know I blew it somewhere. See, if you didn't pick that second point, the 0, -3, you would just automatically shade on the bottom. Okay? But what I did is I blew it when I graphed it. I said everything correctly over here. I just blew it. How did I blow it? I put the y-intercept at -2, okay? And I guess I could pretend that I'm intelligent enough to have done that on purpose, but that's not the case. I just blew it, okay? And you can too. So let's get rid of this thing. It was a fortuitous mistake. Okay, so let's go for 0, 2. Now I see what I did wrong. Then I'll go down 1 and over 1. Again, I'll dash the graph. Okay, so notice 0, 0 is actually on the bottom of the graph. All right, that's a point on the bottom. So the bottom doesn't work, so I'm going to get rid of this. And let's pick a point on the top. A point on the top would be 0, +3. So let's try that. So we have 3 is greater than -0 plus 2. And that's correct. So we're going to shade the top part. So again, I strongly suggest you pick a point on each side. That's it. Chapter 2 is over. Chapter 3 is ahead. You have the excitement of the Chapter 2 test ahead of you. Other than that, have a great day.